Hello students. So we will do the second video on motion. This is part 2. Today we will do two physical quantities under motion. One is speed and other is velocity. So in the previous video we have done distance and displacement. All of you should know distance, scalar quantity, displacement, vector quantity. Distance needs only magnitude or numerical value, whereas displacement needs magnitude as well as direction. These two physical quantities, they are dependent on distance and displacement. So, speed is scalar as distance and velocity is vector as displacement. So, first of all, I will take speed. After this, we will take these three numericals. So, you take out your notebooks and pens and we will try to solve this and write also different points of speed also. So, first of all, the definition of speed. What is speed? It is very simple, and in lower classes we have also studied what is speed. Speed is rate of distance travelled. What does it mean by rate of distance travelled? When we talk about rate, what does it mean? It means we are dividing the numerator with t, denominator t. T is time. When time is put below this line, or we are dividing this quantity with time, then we say this is rate. So rate of distance travelled is speed, or speed is distance per unit time. So what is speed? Speed is distance travelled per unit time. What does it mean? We can write is in the form of a formula also. Speed is equal to distance travelled upon time taken. So this is the formula for speed, distance travelled upon time taken. So what are the units of distance? Unit of distance is meter, SI unit. Unit of time is second, SI unit. So what should be the unit of speed? It should be meter per second, or we can write it like this also, meter per second or meter per second. Meter, this is per second. So the SI unit of speed is meter per second. I can write here SI unit, meter per second. Other units are kilometer per hour, or it may be kilometer. So this is enough. So the other units are kilometer per hour. Normally in our numericals, kilometer per hour is given as the unit of speed, because we know if a car is going, the car will travel a long distance not in meters or seconds but in kilometers and hours. Suppose a car is traveling at the speed of 40 kilometers per hour. In 1 hour, car is going 40 kilometers. It is traveling 40 kilometers. So in most of the numericals, the speed is given in kilometers per hour, but we have to put our answer in SI unit, meter per second. So first of all, we have to convert this kilometer per hour into meter per second. That is a simple fraction, that is 5 upon 18. If we multiply the total value with 5 upon 18, we will get from kilometer per hour to meter per second. See how this is kilometer per hour. We want to convert it into meter per second. We can write like this. We can write like this, kilometer per hour, meter per second. So how much is 1 kilometer? 1 kilometer is 1000 meter. How much is 1 hour? 1 hour is 60 minutes into 60 seconds. We want this hour to convert in seconds, this kilometer to meter. So 1000 meter and hour 60 minutes and then 60 seconds. So this will come to 1000 upon 3600, and when you solve this, it will be 5 upon 80. So this is the fraction 5 upon 18. If you multiply kilometer per hour with 5 upon 18, we will get meter per second. No need of long calculation. Just remember this fraction 5 upon 18 and kilometer per hour can be converted to meter per second. So we have now 2 points. The formula is speed is equal to distance travelled upon time taken. The SI unit is this. The conversion is this. The next point is about this speed. Speed cannot be zero. First, and cannot be zero or negative. It is always positive. Once a car starts moving, it has moved, so it has gained some speed, and this speed is always positive. It cannot be negative. Once it is started, it cannot be go back. Once the car is started, the speed cannot be zero. So speed is always zero, and it cannot, speed is always positive, it cannot be zero or negative. You should write this point first on the top, that speed is a scalar quantity. We need only magnitude or the numerical value. No direction is needed when we are describing speed. So speed cannot be zero or negative. It is positive for a moving body, for a moving object. So it is very important to write for a moving object. If the object is at rest, then what should be the speed? Speed will be zero. So speed can be zero if the object is not moving, if it is at rest. But for a moving object, speed cannot be zero or negative. It is always positive. So we can write the next, speed can be zero for object at rest, when it is not moving. Now what are the points for speed? First, speed is a scalar quantity. We need only magnitude or the numerical value like 40 kilometers per hour. We need not to say whether the car is going eastward, northward, up, down. The car can go anywhere, in any direction. But if it is going with this speed 40 kilometers per hour, we say this is the speed. So speed is scalar and no direction is needed to describe speed. Now the second is the formula. Speed is equal to distance travelled upon time taken. Its unit is meter per second. This kilometer per hour can be converted to meters per second by multiplying this by this value 5 upon 18. then for a moving object, speed cannot be 0 or negative. It is always positive. It can be 0 if the body is at rest. So this is how we describe speed. One more thing, how we write the notation, the symbol for speed, distance and time in physics. In physics, for speed we write V. Although this V is for velocity, but for speed also we write the alphabet V, small v for speed, and for distance S is written, not D. Remember, for the distance traveled, the symbol used is small s, not D. And for time, all of you know, small t is used. So the formula in this notation we will write V is equal to S upon T. Do you wonder why this S is taken as distance, not D? D is for density, capital D. Now this S is for spatial location. In Greek or in some older languages, this S is taken from the spatial location. That's why this S is given. For distance in physics, we should learn distance is not D, it is S, time is T, and speed is small v, and velocity also for small v. So this is how we describe speed. Now we will take velocity. Now write down few points on velocity also. Then we will solve these questions I have written. Now the velocity is a vector quantity. Before velocity, I will tell you one more about the speed, and that is average speed. Sometimes we want to know the average speed. Suppose a vehicle is traveling for a large distance. Sometimes it is slow, sometimes it is fast, and a longer distance is traveled on a straight line. So if on a straight line in a linear motion, the vehicle is driving somebody is driving a car for a longer distance, then the speed is not constant. We want to know the average speed. So the formula for average speed is total distance covered traveled, total distance traveled upon total time taken. So this is the average speed formula, very simple. Total distance traveled upon total time taken. Average speed is also scalar. It is also having the same unit, meter per second. Now we will come to velocity. So velocity is, first of all, we should write what is velocity. It is dependent upon displacement, I have told you, and displacement is a vector quantity. Likewise, velocity is also a vector quantity, a vector physical quantity. Now, you all are knowing what is vector. Vector is where magnitude as well as direction is taken into consideration. For vector, we need to know the magnitude or the numerical value and direction both. So this is velocity is a vector quantity. It is dependent upon displacement. So the definition is somewhat like this: displacement per unit time. Per unit time means in 1 second. So we can write the formula here. Velocity is equal to displacement upon time taken. In speed, we have written distance upon time. Here we have written displacement upon time. So this is the only difference, because in velocity we need direction and we have direction in displacement. This is a vector quantity. This is the formula. The SI unit is as speed, meter per second, and the bigger unit is kilometer per hour. There is no difference in SI unit from speed. One more thing, when we are writing speed, we should mention the direction also. Mention direction when we are describing speed. This direction may be north, south, any direction, or this may be left, right. So, or we can show it by arrow like this or like this. So, the direction can be showed by arrow, or it should be written northeast, southwest, or it is left, towards right. So, when we are describing velocity, we should write the direction also. One more point, and that is the important one. Velocity can be positive, negative, or zero. Why it can be positive, negative, or zero? Because it is dependent on displacement. And we all know that displacement can be zero, displacement can be negative, and displacement can be positive. When it is zero, when the initial and final position they coincide, on the same point, the body which is traveling, it comes back to the same point or the initial point. So the difference between initial and final point will be zero, displacement will be zero, and velocity will be zero. How it is negative? When the body, it comes behind the original point, behind the origin, that is towards the left, then the displacement will be negative and velocity will also be negative. Positive, when it is going in the right hand direction, displacement will be positive and velocity will be positive. This is about velocity and speed. Now we will do, I think the speed and velocity is clear to all of you. It is very simple. Just remember, speed is distance upon time, velocity is displacement upon time. Here we need not to write about the direction. In velocity, with the numerical value, we have to write the direction also. This is all about this speed and velocity. Now we will try to solve these three questions which are written here. The first question is about distance and displacement. So we will try to solve these questions. The first is, read it out. A man completes one round of a circular track of diameter 200 meters. So first of all, this is question 1. So first of all, I will draw a circular path. A man completes one round of a circular path of diameter 200. So I have drawn this diameter, and this diameter is 200 meters. Suppose the man starts from here, and this is the A point and this is the B point. The man is going like this, like this, like this, and taking rounds of this circular path. And one round takes 40 seconds. What will be the distance covered and displacement at the end of 2 minutes 20 seconds. We have to calculate distance also and displacement also after 2 minutes 20 seconds. So we will convert the time. 2 minutes is 120 seconds and 20 seconds. So the total time will be 140 seconds. We have to calculate everything in this SI unit. So always we have to convert all the data given in SI units. So the time is converted into SI unit 140. This is meter. Meter is SI unit. We need not to convert this. So first of all, we will see how the distance can be calculated. Distance. He is taking the round. So for one round, how much distance is covered? It is a circle. All of you know. So the distance of the circle will be its circumference, its perimeter. So what is the perimeter? 2 pi r. So this will be the perimeter of the circle. The circumference of the circle 2 pi r. So it will be 2 into 3.14 meter. Perimeter is in meters. Pi is 3.14, 2, and what is r? R is radius. So what will be the radius of this circle? Diameter is given. So radius will be d by 2. Half the diameter is radius. So the radius will be d by 2 or 2 into 3.14 into how much is the radius? Radius is 200. So sorry, diameter is 200. So the radius will be 100. How much is this? It is this. No. Yes. No. So 6 to 8 meters is the perimeter, circumference of this circle. In one round, the man travels 628 meters. Now we should know how much distance he has covered at the end of 2 minutes 20 seconds, that is 140 seconds. This distance he is covered in 40 seconds. So by unitary method again we can calculate in 40 seconds he has covered the distance of 628 meters. So in 140 seconds he will cover the distance of 6 to 8 upon 40 into 140, or we can directly take the distance in 40. So it will be 3.5, 6 to 8 into 3.5. It will, I think I have calculated, this will come to 2198 meters. So after 140 seconds, he will cover the distance 2198. So this is the total distance covered in 140 seconds. Have you followed this? In 40 seconds, this much distance is covered because it is one round. In 40 seconds, he has taken completes one round. So one round is 828 meters. So in 40 seconds, he covered 628. So in 140 seconds, he will cover 2198 meter distance. Total distance in this time. Now for displacement. How much is the displacement? We should know the final position of the man after this much time. So how do we know the final position? Suppose this is the initial position. He is doing like this. First we should calculate how many rounds did he take? So rounds, how will in 40 seconds he has taken one round. So in 140 seconds he will take 1 by 40 into 140, 3.5 rounds, 3.5 rounds. Is it clear to all of you? How many rounds after 140 seconds? In 40 seconds he has taken one round. In 140 seconds he will take 1 upon 40 into 140, that is 3.5 rounds. After this time he will be at the final position where 3.5 rounds will finish. So suppose he has started from here, 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds and half round more. So half round he will finish at B. This is the half circle. So after 140 seconds he will finish at B. He will start from A and after 3.5 rounds he will finish at B. So what will be the distance? Distance is difference between final position and initial position. So the initial position is A, this is B, and the distance between them is 200 meters. It means the displacement. What will be the displacement? Displacement will be difference between A and B, and it will be 200 meters as is given. So this is the answer. The displacement is 200 meters. One more thing we have to write. He is going like this. So the direction we can write. Direction is A to B. We can write this. The direction is A to B. So the displacement is from A to B. So this is how we calculate this question. I think this is clear to all of you, the first one. Now we will try the second. Read the second one. The second is Joseph jogs from one end A to other end B of a straight 300-meter road. So this is second question. I will draw this road of 300 meters and the points are A and B. He is jogging from A to B and the time is 2 minutes 30 seconds. So the time will be 2 minutes means 120 seconds plus 30 seconds. Total time will be 150 seconds. And then turns back and jogs 100 meter back to point C. This is 300. Now he returns back. Suppose this is point C and this is 100 meters. He revert back, he turns and jogs 100 meters back to the point C in another 1 minute. So here the time is 60 seconds and for this hole the time is 150 seconds. He took 150 seconds from going from A to B and he took 60 seconds from going from B to C. This is clear? What are his average speed and velocities in jogging? First from A to B and second from A to C. So first we will calculate the speed from A to B. Speed from, I am writing here AB. It means speed from A to B. Simple. Distance upon time is equal to distance covered from A to B is 300. It is given time taken 150. So simply we have got 2 meter per second. So the speed from A to B is 2 meter per second. Is it clear to all of you? Now the velocity from A to B. Now we will calculate velocity from A to B. Velocity is displacement upon time. So the displacement in this case, he has covered A to B and stops here up on B. So the displacement is also 300. This is the final position B. This is the initial position. So 300 minus 0, it is 300. So the displacement is also 300. Time taken is only 150. So it will be also 2 meter per second. That is, from A to B, if he is jogging, the speed and velocity are same. And this velocity we can write, it is from A to B and it is positive. We can write like this. So for velocity, we are describing the direction also and the magnitude also. So this part is done. Now we have to calculate speeds from A to C. A to C. So first we will calculate speed from A to C. So this speed will, the total distance covered, he has covered the distance from A to B and again from B to C. So much distance is covered. So we will write total distance covered upon total time taken. So this will be average speed. So the total distance is 300 from A to B and from B to C 100. It means is equal to 300 plus 100. This is the total time taken and total distance, and total time is 150 from here to here and 60 from here to here. 400 upon 210. So what it will give, you calculate, it will give something like 1.9 meter per second. You calculate by yourselves. Roughly I thought 40 divided by 21, it will somewhere 1.9 meter per second. So this will be the average speed from A to C. Are you following? Is it clear to all of you? If you are not following, then write me in comment section. I will explain you there. Now about the average velocity from A to C. We will calculate the average velocity. Average velocity, you know the formula, displacement. It is, now we will write displacement upon total time. So the displacement, as you can see, from A to C. C is the final position of the man now. Final position of Joseph now is C. So this is from here, the C is at 200 meters. 300 minus 100. So C is at 200 meters. This is the final position. So the displacement will be 200. 300 minus 100 and the total time is the same. He has gone here, coming back. So the total time will be same, 210, and it will come somewhat around 9 and something more, 9 meter per second. So the velocity is 0.9 meters per second and speed is 1.9 meter per second, and here we will write the direction also, A to C. So this is the direction of the velocity, A to C. This is the magnitude of the velocity, 0.9 meter per second, and this speed is without direction, 1.9 meter per second. So this is how we calculate speed and velocity. So I think you must have followed this. You try it yourself and write in comment box if you want. Now we will come to the third one. What is the third question? Read it out. The third is Abdul was driving a car, suppose. So his average speed initially is 20 kilometers per hour. On his return back, he returned to the same route or the same path, and now the speed is 30 kilometers per hour. This is average speed of going. This is average speed of coming back. What is the average speed for the total trip? As only speed is given, we need not to convert in meter per second, because in average speed of the trip we can answer is kilometer per second. At first glance, it looks like if 20 kilometers this way, 30 kilometers this way, then the average will be the mean of these two. 20 plus 30 is divided by 2, that is 25 kilometer per second should be the average. At first glance, we thought going 20 like this, coming 30 like this. So we add up both and divide it by 2 to take the mean or average, and it will be 20 plus 30, 50 divided by 2, and it will come to 25 kilometer per second. Kilometer per hour. But no, this is wrong. We cannot do like this. We have to calculate in an organized manner. How we will calculate this question? We know only two speeds, one towards right, other towards left, and we want to calculate the average speed. Nothing is given, so we will suppose the formula for speed we know is distance upon time. First I will draw this path A, B. The person is going this way and the speed is 20 kilometers per hour. If he is coming back, the speed is 30 kilometer per hour. This is given, this is only given. But for calculating speed, we need distance and time. Distance is not given, time is not given. So how to calculate average speed? So we will suppose the time is x meters, because the path is same, this A to B and returning back from B to A. So if this distance, not time, sorry, the distance, this distance A to B is x, so the distance from B to A will also be x. Suppose the distance is x. Now what will be the time? Time from going A to B. How we calculate time from going A to B? We know speed is distance upon time. So time will be distance upon speed. Distance upon speed. Is it clear? What will be time? From the same formula we can calculate. Speed is distance upon time. Time will be distance upon speed. So time from going A to B will be distance. How much is the distance? X. X is the distance. How much is the speed? Speed is 20. It is 20. It is 20. So the speed from going A to B is 20 kilometers per second. So this is time when the person is going from A to B. Is it clear to all of you? In the same way, we will calculate time when the person is coming back from B to A. So time from B to A again will be distance. Distance is same. The same distance is covered in a straight line and the speed now is 30. So this is time when he is returning back, x by 30, x by 20. Now he has asked average speed. So what will be the formula for average speed? Average speed will be total distance upon total time. We know this formula, total distance covered upon total time taken, and average speed is being asked. So this will be equal to total distance is x on one side and x on the other side. Both are x's. So x plus x is the total distance. And total time, we know this is one time is this plus the other time is this. So this is the x plus 20, x plus 30 is the total time. Now we will solve this problem. All you can solve very easily. So it will be 2x upon, we will take the LCM 60. So it will be 3x plus 2x. Is it okay? So it will be 2x upon 5x upon 60. So this will come here and 5x will come here. Come here. Is it okay? Yes. So x will be cut by x. This is 12. 60 with 5, 12, and 12 into 2, 24. So 24 meter per second will be the average speed in this case. Is it clear to all of you or not? Simple. We know the formula. Total distance upon total time. Here we suppose the distance is x. So the same route is there. This will be x and on returning it is x. So the total distance will be x plus x. And now we want to know the total time. Total time from going A to B. If this is the formula, speed is distance upon time, then time will be distance upon speed. So time from going to A and B is x is the distance and this is the speed. It is given. So TAB will be x by 20. Likewise TBA will be x by 30. This is given. So when we join, when we sum up these two, add these two, we will get the total time. Now our formula for speed, total distance x plus x, total time x by 20 plus x by 30. Now calculate this, 2x upon, take the LCM 3x 2x like this and you will get this 60 will go up, 5x will be on the lower side, 2x plus into 60 divided by 5x and you will get 24 meter per second. So like this we calculate these three numericals. You try more from NCERT and from reference book, and in the next video we will learn about uniform motion, uniform velocity, acceleration and all other things of motion. This is part 2 of motion. This is all. Thank you.